So this past weekend, I got to take my family to a preview screening of Night at the Museum 3, Secret of the Tomb. I really like this franchise. My kids, my wife, we all love this franchise. We've seen them all now, and it's just a lot of fun. Let me start off by saying right away that this film really reminded me of sort of like Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back, where it was just a grand farewell to characters that we all love. And that's what I felt this whole movie, is that we have a good story, a good storyline, a good MacGuffin, as you can say, leading us throughout the whole film. But at the same time, we know going through it, this world is coming to an end for us. This franchise is pretty much over. At least these characters that we know in there are over. We cameos out the wazoo. We have Ricky Gervais is back, which is great. Obviously, Ben Stiller. We have Stephen Coogan. We have Owen Wilson. We have Robin Williams. Man, it was great to see in this film, but it was also sad. We have a nice little cameo, if you can catch him, Matthew Frewer, which maybe I'm the only one in the world who knows who that is, but it's Max Headroom. Love seeing him in more stuff. A couple cameos I don't really want to talk about because I want you to be surprised when you go in. There was a great little scene between one of the cameos, who happens to be playing the god Ra, and he's talking to Ben Stiller's character, and they have this very funny back and forth with, oh, well, we had several slaves, Jewish slaves. They loved us. About 2,000. They lived great. And Ben Stiller's like, no, they didn't. They actually left and spent 40 days in the desert to get away from you. It's a thing. We have dinner about it every year and talk about it, and it's pretty awful. And it's just this realization on Ra's face of what that meant. And it's funny, and it was really tongue-in-cheek on religion. I enjoyed that little piece. Overall, the movie has the humor. I really wish they'd let Ricky Gervais go a little further. Like his character in the first one really had these sayings that are these cliches that he'd start, but then he'd never finish and never go in the right place, which I really enjoyed. He dropped that out of character. I was bummed by that. We also have a very nice cameo from Dick Van Dyke, one of the original guards from the first movie, which was classic, and they explain more and they tie directly into this movie, which was great. My favorite part, though, there's actually two. As the climax is coming, Robin Williams' character, Teddy Roosevelt, gives a speech, and it's really telling. You could read into this because of what happened and that he passed away. You can read into the speech anything you want, but I read into it that he was talking about his own death, and it was nice. Not that he knew he was going to die or anything like that, but sort of talking as a character to himself, and I thought that was really cool. And then the final send-off with Ben Stiller's character, Larry, and Teddy Roosevelt. It was amazingly touching. They did not film this movie knowing Robin Williams was going to die. He had filmed all his scenes, and then he passed away. But the way Larry says goodbye to Teddy Roosevelt, and Teddy Roosevelt's reaction was pure Robin Williams. It was fantastic to see. It was clearly not meant to be a send-off, but it turned out to be a perfect send-off to an amazing actor, an amazing comedian, an amazing character. So that was really, really cool to see. I highly recommend you go check this movie out. My two kids loved it. They're 5 and 9, and my wife loved it. We all enjoyed this series. It's great to take the family to, and I think at this time of year we get more family movies, but lately we just really haven't had the family movies. So this is a perfect one to go take them to. I highly recommend you check it out. I'm going to go ahead and give this 4.5 out of 5 Nerd Skulls.